Absolute Batman finally got his revenge on Absolute Bane in the craziest way possible.
Peak fiction incoming.
So the 14th issue of Absolute Batman is finally here, which we all knew would be the conclusion to this absolutely amazing arc. But when I tell you that you're not ready for what you're about to witness, I mean it from the deepest depths of my soul. So before we jump into the breakdown, it would be super chill if you guys dropped a like and comment. These videos take a really long time for me to make. I do every step of the editing process on my own, and it's literally 6 a.m. as I'm recording this because I stayed up all night so I could get this out on time for you guys. But with that being said, if you guys don't remember, the last issue consisted of Catwoman checking up on Bruce for the first time after he escaped Arkham by infiltrating one of their hideouts and for some reason beating the crap out of Alfred. And despite initially expressing that she needed to leave and that he didn't need her help, eventually it's revealed that Bruce wanted nothing more than for her to stick around for the night so he could give her a piece of his absolute bat dong. More than that though, the next morning he'd ask her out on a proper date where they'd both suit up into their gear and try approaching the infamous Red Hood gang so they could make some sort of proposal to their leader. Unfortunately, this would prove to be a lot harder than they expected though, because it wasn't long before the gang started attacking them because they were still holding a grudge about Bruce denying their assistance during a previous exchange. So Catwoman pulled out her submachine gun and neutralized as many of them as she could by shooting them with sleep darts, but moments later, Bruce realized that somebody wielding an RPG was on top of a Ferris wheel ready to pull the trigger. So in a last-ditch effort to save him and Selina's lives, he decided to use the venom in his system for the very first time, which made him so strong that he was able to send the dude flying into the water after smashing into the Ferris wheel. However, using the venom didn't come without its adverse side effects, and Selina was quick to notice that it was making Bruce way angrier than he usually was. So she calmed him down enough so that he was able to explain why they needed the Red Hood gang's help, and even though most of the members were resistant to hear him out at first, eventually Harley Quinn would step out from among them and reveal that she was their leader, expressing that if he was really serious about taking down Arkham, then she was willing to join his side. Nevertheless, the story then steps inside enemy territory where we find out that despite already being a massive ball of testosterone, Bane went through even more procedures that allowed him to reach a level of size that Dr. Arkham never even thought was possible. However, soon enough, one of the doctors in the room expressed that there was a broadcast on TV that they needed to be concerned about because apparently Batman was not only exposing their entire operation, but he was also calling out Bane to face him in a 1v1 showdown tomorrow at midnight. But knowing that he'd have to use every resource he had if he really wanted a shot at victory, Bruce eventually told Selina that whether she liked it or not, he was going to use venom during their showdown, so Selina continued trying to convince him not to, out of belief that the side effects would turn him into a monster, but upon realizing that he wasn't going to change his mind,